Hey guys, Apotheosis here for ivyleague.com. So, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Chris, and I play more or less exclusively 6 max cash. I mostly play 500 and 1k zoom, along with some regular tables whenever the zoom action's not good, or I just feel like changing it up, or whatever. As such, I mostly make 500 and 1k zoom videos for the Masters tier here at Ivy League. So for those of you with a Masters tier, you will probably know who I am. And some of you with Bachelor's tiers may have seen some of my posts on the forums or have, just sort of seen my videos around and know a little bit about me anyway. So I recently received permission from the people who pay me / the powers that be to make a one video a month probably for the next little while, available to the bachelor's tier. So what we're going to be doing in these videos, we're going to move down in stakes, to sort of the more relevant stakes to what we assume most people with bachelor's tiers are playing. So you're going to see, I'd say a lot of 100 NL, maybe some 50, maybe some 25. It'll depend on what you guys want to see. Maybe some 200 even. I'm not entirely sure. Either way, in these videos we're gonna keep things a little simpler than we would in my 1K videos. At the same time, though, I just want to be clear: these videos are not geared towards people that have never played and are just trying to learn basic strategy. So, if you need to see a video on why you should raise pre-flop and not limp, this is probably not the video for you. I expect you to sort of know what you're doing if you're watching this video. What else do I want to talk about? I've been instructed to also make my videos sort of have a theme from now on. So this theme, because I don't really play 100 anymore, and I don't have any stats on any of these villains anyway. We're gonna play without a HUD, so I'm probably gonna do 2 sessions without a HUD, and the theme will be, making reads based on stack size, location, the number of tables in the lobby, those sorts of things. If he's playing a couple tournaments on the side, any information we can piece together without the use of a HUD is what we're gonna base our decisions on, along with good solid strategy. And I'm probably going to do 2 parts of this. They'll be spread out a little more often than my normal videos because they're going to be interspersed with the videos that are available only for the Masters tier subscribers. And then in the future, what's going to happen is I'm going to pick a concept to focus on, and we'll do a little theory session at the beginning of, let's say, 10 or 15 minutes, and then we will play a session, and we're going to specifically focus on those spots, along with talking about the other hands that are going on. So, for example, let's say we wanted to talk about 3-betting the small blind versus the button. So we'd go over at the start sort of what hands we want to be 3-betting, why we want to be 3-betting, the advantages of 3-betting your whole range instead of flatting some and 3-betting some, the disadvantages of flatting your whole range, or of 3-betting your whole range instead of flatting some and 3-betting some, spots where you may deviate from a strategy of 3-betting your entire range, like why would you call? Does stack depth make a difference? Does fish behind make a difference? Does fish on the button make a difference, etc.? So we'd talk about that in theory for 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'd play a session, and I would make sure to specifically point out those spots that came up, and I would be focused more on pointing those spots out, but at the same time, talking about the other hands that happen. I'm not going to just skip over an interesting hand simply because I played it from the cutoff. So that's sort of to give you an idea of what's going to come in the future from me. This has been a really long intro. I'll try to keep my intros 30 seconds to a minute so that I don't bore you guys to death. But as it is my first Bachelor's tier video, I wanted to introduce myself and also let you know what you have to look forward to. So I try and get 40 to 45 minutes of play in my video, so we'll run this one to about 45 or 50 minutes to account for the extra long intro. And without further ado, we're off. The other thing I'd like to say is, as I mentioned earlier, the second part of this is going to be just another 4 tabling session without HUD. But then after that, I'm going to be focusing on specific spots, or sorry, a specific concept before I start the video. So if you're watching these videos and you subscribe to the Bachelor's tier, please comment on a spot that you'd like to see me go over. If you subscribe to the Masters tier, I'm going to be doing the same thing from the Masters tier videos. So if you have a Masters tier, make those comments on the Masters tier videos. Here we 3-bet because he's just playing on his cell phone, so we probably have a huge skill advantage. He like pot 4-bet, so we just get out of the way. I'm just gonna fold versus the squeeze. He's short. I'm just gonna peel here. Pretty easy flat of the 3-bet versus the short stacker, and we're just going broke here pretty much. I'm just never folding at this point. If the river's an ace, I might fold, but he checks the king. Here, the guy who like min 3-bet, c-bet, and this guy called. I don't really know what's going on. I'm gonna peel. I mean, it's kind of hard for me to be like crushed by their ranges, just given the like nature of their small bets and stuff. Here, it feels like he shouldn't have a king, and like I'm blocking queen, so I'm gonna try and get stacks in for value, kind of thin. I don't know. Here I'm just gonna stab because I have the 9 of spades and it was like limped around, whatever. I'm gonna fold now. I'm gonna watch, see what happens. Given I don't have any information on any of these players, I'm gonna try and piece it together as quickly as I can, and that's gonna involve sitting out and watching hands like this. I don't know what's going on. I think we just fold. I mean, I'm not drawing to the nuts. I'm likely dead. We're getting sweet pot odds, but whatever. I think this is a check raise on this board if you want to have a check raising range. I don't think I want to. It's probably not spectacular in theory, but like, given I'm me, I don't think I'm going to get much credit in many spots, especially on like dry boards like this. And I also just think like, as part of a solid game plan, check raising ace 5-4 rainbow is probably not spectacular. Obviously we're over the nuts, so that's good stuff. Just bet. I would have been bluffing there had it bricked off. I think this is a pretty standard flat cutoff versus under the gun. I mean, I don't really have any interest in getting a stack in with 10s. Gonna be a pretty standard peel here with 3s, I think, versus a guy I assume's weaker. He's Chinese, and he's got $96 in his stack. Both of those point towards a recreational player. We're gonna call this 3-bet just to set mine, or like board mine, I guess. I mean, there's some boards I won't fold that don't involve a 3, like deuce 4-5 or like something like that. But yeah, I'm gonna steal almost 100% into this guy's big blind because he's a gold star. I'm just gonna close my eyes and c-bet this texture. I got pretty much nothing, but it doesn't really matter. If he's got nothing, I win every time. So yeah. I mean, this is not a bad board. I'm just gonna be disciplined and fold. Dude playing on a cell phone. More good news with the 8 of hearts. It seems like a pretty reasonable c-bet. Just gonna give up now. If he checks, I'll probably bet the river. I'm just gonna fold. I'm gonna steal into a guy showing platinum stars with 7-5 off and this small blind, who we believe is a pro shorty, but played kind of weird in the last one. The c-bet on like Jack XX dry and then the check on the king is I mean, there's definitely some hands that make sense, but it's a little suspicious.